Gosh, I don't know, what is it, Thursday, and live from Multifamily Leadership Studio here in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I want to bring you some conversation around AI in the multifamily business, doing less better. And we're going to talk about a few things here. We're going to talk about being the attention, the amount of information that's coming at us can feel very overwhelming for people. I don't know if that's you. Put in the comments if you feel like there's a lot of new things coming along, a lot of new solutions, and a lot of new things to look at to think about our business. So give me a second here. I'm just getting set up here so I can see your comments. I'm live here on TikTok. So if you have TikTok, come hang out there too. But in the meantime, we're going to have some fun with AI in multifamily investments. Now, if you think about it, what is the purpose of a multifamily investment? Most of the decisions you're going to make are going to come from, it's going to impact a loan. Multifamily is about leverage. And with leverage, we're able to do more, right? We're able to, goodness, what's going on here? Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm just getting set up here. With leverage, we're able to do more, right? I mean, that's just the purpose of leverage. And why is it saying, am I live on LinkedIn? You guys put in the comments if you see me here, because right now I'm looking at this, it's telling me that the video stopped. And I just want to make sure if I see a comment there, I'll continue. If not, I'm going to refresh and start this over. TikTok, you're still with me hanging out. Hope you guys are doing well. Listen, if you're in multifamily investment, this is mostly the people I work with and help are people that are winning already and want to win even more. This isn't about finding your first deal or buying your first apartment or anything like that. I'm going to just go ahead and refresh this page. All right. Again, if you're on LinkedIn and you see me and hear me, put in the comments so I know you're here with me. And then we'll get started. I'm going to talk about, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ignore this for now and just stick with you guys. We're going to talk about the fundamentals of multifamily and that AI is changing the way that we're working, and it's requiring us to learn new skills and see the business in new ways. And oftentimes that process, by definition, is something different than what we've experienced and how we've achieved our own success. And so I want to talk through some of those things here live with you. One of those is we say do less better. That was at the end of Multifamily Innovation Summit. That was the main theme of 2024. Is fundamentally, if multifamily is about protecting capital as much as it is generating capital or wealth, then knowing the leverage points in our business makes a lot of sense. Now, when we think of leverage, we think of the capital stack, right? You're thinking about the uncertainties around meeting debt service and the pressures that are upon us in terms of operating, right? Staying in business in many cases. And so when you think about protecting cash flow, right, that becomes priority, not just generating cash flow. We have a lot of dollars flying out the door through maintenance and operations in the multifamily business. And a lot of that comes from how we have leveraged technology. Most of that technology being built today is not on that part of the business. And so when you think about doing less better, it's looking at back to the basics of running a business. You know, multifamily, we talk about market rents, supply demand fundamentals, capital structures, raising equity, LPs, all of that stuff. And in a lot of ways, that's great. And most people that have that information, it's sort of all the same information. But what makes a difference between those that make this happen and those that make a difference is the ability for somebody to come into an organization and find efficient ways to create better experiences for employees, better results for investors, better outcomes for the customers, your residents, right? And now more diverse set of a diverse set of an approach to yields, because most people right now think rent increase is the only way to get lift in your net operating income. Now, I will say that's obvious that we want to manage our expenses and all that stuff. But what I'm here to talk to you about is literally back to the basics. There's three things: generate the rents, collect the rents, and lead the teams. Fundamentally, that's all we're really doing here. And so as you see all of this content being created online and all across the web, and information coming at you because anybody can do what I'm doing right here, you end up with noise. And great leaders know when there's a false signal of when to stop going down that road. All right, you can look at, this is like why you don't want to read your own press releases, right? It gives you false signals of like, you're really farther along or you're better than you are. Whereas the customer decides that. And if branding is about doing something that's in contrast to everything else, like different, right? That's the purpose of a company, is we are different for these reasons, right? Then why would everybody want to do what everybody else does? Why would you want to approach the process the same way everybody else does? Even when you're buying technology, I'm noticing a trend that people are building their own technology. I believe that there will be more technology built by real estate companies because the generic off-the-shelf solutions have not been able to provide the true business outcomes that one needs to have in their business. And not because these companies are not building great products, it's because multifamily has so many different asset classes, investment priorities, investment structures. Maybe it's a third-party manager, owner-operator. Maybe it's a certain asset class. The timelines of their holds are different. So if you think about like SEO, if somebody is investing in a property and they're in it for 18 months and you're trying to get them to think long-term with SEO strategies, they're not thinking about it that way. Owner-developer may think about it differently. So it's very difficult to build products for multifamily, right? And if you think about it, if every resident experienced the same CRM across every property, is that different? Is that a differentiation, right? So now it becomes like, where do you make the unique differentiation in your experience with customers? Is it technology, or is it now what I believe, is we have a framework, and we've been spending lots of years listening and learning from the priorities, the challenges, and the desires of these multifamily owners and operators all over the place around what is actually moving the needle in the business. And you'd be surprised that it's the basic stuff. It's the doing less better. When you think about action, we think like, we have this problem, let's solve it. And we're going to buy this thing. We're going to stack up this thing into our portfolio. And, maybe it gets supported, maybe it doesn't. At the end of the day, it's unique to each company, right? But what I suggest for you today is to take a step back and take a step at what resources you have in place already. A great leader will leverage resources already in place. I mean, you heard this. I mean, when I was hiring management companies, it's always, well, if we could just spend some more money, we would solve the problem. We need more ads. We need more people. We need more this. We need to paint this. Like the solution was really about just throw more money at the problem and make it go away. And what I challenge you to do right now is think about your business around the resources that you already have in place, your people, your technology, your assets, your processes. And let's look at those and it's like, do those better, right? May not be the next new thing that you need right now. And so I just want to give a level of clarity and a level of pause to know, like at the end of the day, we can get confused about where progress is and where progress is happening, but it's unique to your business. It's not the logo that's doing the new thing. It's not the podcast that you hear the thing talking about the thing. I do these podcasts, and I'm telling you that it's like the large language models. It's a race to the bottom. It's as if the internet came along and you're here training people on, like, there's this internet thing. Like, we all figured it out now. Now it's just game on. It's the level playing field. At some point, people needed websites. And it was like, hey, we got a website. Like, you can do all these you can pay online now. And now it's like, if you don't have it, you're not there. But most of the things that you're experiencing today in your world and the products and services that have been developed, they've been developed with the idea from a leader that went to work, gained experience, got promoted, did more, taught others how they did it, maybe started a company, built a software with the expectation and the bias that you're going to be in front of a dashboard looking at the data. And right now, nobody thought, like, oh, wait, we won't be working actually in front of a computer at a desk. How do we reach people? Just think about the software you use today. I want you to have intentionality. Like, where do you see the thing you do? Is it on a computer? Is it on a dashboard? Or is it mobile first? Can you enter all of your stuff into your systems that you need to enter it into from a mobile phone? Or from where you work, on top of a roof, checking an invoice, entering a serial number on a thing that you just spent $8,000 on. So really think about how to make a difference in your business by I'll give you my framework. A lot of conversation around AI. I mean, we bring AI and automation into companies, Multifamily GPT, and we help them automate, and we bring process and productivity to multifamily companies. However, I'm going to tell you that that's not enough. And a lot of people are reaching for, we want AI and we want to automate. And they're not even clear on their own process yet. Is it documented? Do people understand it? Who are the people that are using the thing that you're doing? Where does it get shared? And if that person leaves, how does the next person know how to do that in a way that it can be done over and over? And so what we believe is that AI and automation, I don't believe it's going to, there's this whole, it's going to change jobs. Absolutely, it's going to re-envision jobs. Absolutely, it can take 80% of the thing you're doing and you can automate it. 100%, right? I'm doing this. I know this. So, but what's different about this is it changes what we believe our skills are. You see, you used to be good at the spreadsheet and calculating things and organizing things and even communication. But all that, everybody has access to supreme intelligence now for that. So what's the value of what you contribute? How do you come into an organization and bring value? That's the difference that you can do. You can make today. You can make that shift. Most people are going to act scared. They're going to use their same old process of how they got where they got with whatever certification got them there, which is really useless now because the reality is AI and technology is going to be fundamentally changing a lot of those things that we're getting certified for. So what you need to be certified on is how to bring value to an organization. And that means if an organization is with your contribution and your inputs and actions you take, getting better, in other words, more revenues coming in, or more experience is happening, so that either A, turnover is going down, or customers are staying longer, or you're able to do the thing better so they don't have to vend it out and spend 10 times the cost. That's value in an organization. And companies are built by people, right? Companies are just an entity. It's a document. It's the people inside it that make the difference. And so everything, in my opinion, begins and ends with people. The AI and the automation and the data and that process are what happens in between it. And so a great leader should start the process, and a great leader should end the process, right? And everything that you do in between that is where the opportunity is today. Now, I will tell you that I'll give you the framework. So first it's people, right? Then process, like knowing the process that you have, right? Then AI, automation, data, and then people. And so you can bring all of those things into one single platform to support the people. And now the people are doing different jobs, spending more time in the business, making the impact that they're there to make. And they are making a difference, enjoying their life and all that stuff. And you're taking 80%, 90% of the thing that they have to do from a process and a task off their plate, so they can enjoy their work. All right, so let's see here. What questions do you have? I want to make sure. I'm going to spend a minute here and get back onto LinkedIn here and make sure that you guys can see me. Put a note in the comments if you can see me, or not see me, but like if you have a question. I'll stick around for a minute here. And those of you on TikTok, I don't see. Let me see here. Here we go. All right. Okay. So let me go over here live. I'm live with you guys. So if you have a question, I would love to take that live. I do see a couple. Okay. Candace. Okay. I see you there. All right. So weird, because I cannot see this where I'm supposed to see it. So if you do have a question down below, put in the comments. I'd love to take anything that you have live. I'm just, I had a few more minutes. I had a meeting cancel, and I thought I would just go live and share a little bit of what I was thinking about on, I guess, all the attention around new. And sometimes we think we need new, and the reality is we already have what we need in place. Hi, Jenny. Good to see you. So knowing that, it should give you a lot of clarity and confidence, knowing like it's back to those basics of knowing the customer, understanding the customer's challenges, and spending more time with your customers than tracking your competitors or looking at your competitors or looking at the new thing. Because when you do that, you start to just take your eye off the ball from what really is needed in the business, is to just show up and like call all the customers you have, thank them for the business, like over invest in that process to make customers amazed by the work that you do. And when you do that, you learn more about that experience, and then you can then iterate, pivot, make changes to make the business better in that way. But I'm going to tell you that there is a fundamental acceleration of AI and technology coming to our industry. It's the leader's job now to know how to bring this stuff into the organization and know what's important, and to know how to determine the difference between product A and product B. Because product A may be a great product for company B, but not for company A. And the reason why is they don't know your team, they don't know your priorities, they don't know your challenges. And so you cannot feel like you're being left behind by not doing all the new things. Like, your job is to protect the capital, grow the capital, right? and ultimately every decision that we make impacts one of the loans that you have on the property or the investors. And so there's great responsibility to the work. And so if we were professional doctors, we would be required to read the Journal of Medicine or to know about how things are tested in certain environments, and you'd be talking to other doctors about certain treatments and things like that. And if we're professionals, we need to look at things the same way, not just from the noise and the new. All right. So it's back to the basics, doing less better, right? Generate rents, collect the rents, lead the team. And then in terms of the framework that I use, and if you want to spend some time with me, reach out to me, but it's the people begin and end the process. And if you're smart, you can figure out that stuff in the middle on how to automate 80, 90% of that job, which is like understanding the process. Is it well documented? Is it well communicated? If someone else stepped into the role, could they understand how to do the thing without your involvement or any other inputs required? And those outputs would be very good. Then you have a well-documented SOP, a process. And then with that, you bring in AI, right? Multifamily GPT. You bring custom GPTs based on your company profile, your customer profile, the priorities of your organization. And you're using large language model data along with your data. That's the differentiator. And then you automate, right? And when you automate, you got to move the data in and out of places. You put your data and you change the way it flows in one single source of truth. And then people at the end of that process knowing it all, right? That's what I'm most excited about. I think that's the future, regardless of where people are in terms of their tech stack and all that stuff. And there's a real opportunity for those that can figure out how to help companies do that. Because when you do that, you're bringing incredible, efficiency and stability and reduction of errors and better experience. And there's adjacent opportunities like reduced employee turnover that, right, you're making work better, right? And work is happening in multiple places now. So, right, we can't just supervise the work anymore. We need to be able to move the work through process. And, great things can happen. I'll lead back into brand in that all of that is so you can differentiate. Now, the large language model and ChatGPT, it's more consumer facing. I'm talking about enterprise unlocking value inside a business workflow, a process where someone isn't going to ChatGPT and doing something. This is multifamily GPT, a custom agent using private data at the API level at secure, where it's not shared and training the large language models, which a lot of people are doing today. They don't know it. I'm talking about that type of GPT. And when that's unlocked, real value is unlocked in an organization. And that's the differentiator. You go to ChatGPT and you type a prompt in, regardless of how you type it in, it is at the user level, and which is an interface to the API. You're not system prompting it. You're not using retrieval, right? Or files that can reference documents unique to your organization that you don't want in the public, but it can support an answer to the query or the automation you have in place. That is where it's unlocked. And what I'm saying to you is, as a leader, everybody has access to the same information. It used to be I have this designation and now I'm better than, I have an edge. Well, the edge is gone. Our skills are under attack, right? Probably the most high paid jobs are going to be the ones installing. I was getting some wine the other day, and I parked outside the store, and I saw the delivery driver loading in just crates and crates of bread into this restaurant. And I was like, man, that's awesome. You're like, what a great thing. Like, I was just grateful. I was just thinking, like, gosh, so many people in there are eating and enjoying a meal and sharing experience. And this gentleman was out here working, and I was just and I'm also sensitive to know, like, these are the jobs that are hard to recruit for, retrain, and the compensation. There's all kinds of conversations around the service level jobs. And I was thinking to myself, I said, you know what, that could potentially be the highest paid, the high paid jobs in the world, because with AI and automation, we can do the other things, So why I say that is because information is not enough, right? The world's been indexed on Google now in a conversational large language model. But that information is generic and it's what everybody else has, which when it comes to branding is if you've got what everybody else has, it's not anything special. So when you pair the thing that your experience, your understanding of the business, the unique values of the business, the needs, combined with a large language model, that's what Multifamily GPT does, right? It pairs unique private data with large language model data, and then it unlocks it in a business workflow where people are not even involved, and then people begin and end the process, and this stuff handles everything in the middle, right? If you can bring that kind of value to an organization, that's not something that someone can get anywhere else, because it's unique to your customer, it's unique to the way your business was built, it's unique to the business challenges and the opportunities you want to create in your business. And that's making a difference, and that's brand. It's what's different about what you're doing than anything else. All right, listen, I don't. If I don't see more comments on LinkedIn, I'm going to move over to TikTok, hang out with these guys. But I will see you guys on the next one. Some of you I will see tonight at the meetup. So with that, guys, I'll see you guys